Trevor Hall back here at Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. Happy to now sit across the table here with Scott Berdahl. He's the president and CEO of Snowline Gold Corp. They trade on the Venture Exchange with the symbol SGD. It's been quite a great year for Snowline actually, because if you were an investor a year ago, you'd probably be pretty happy with the share price.
Yeah, I think so, and hopefully if you're an investor a year from now, you'll be happy with the share price too.
I mean, but it's been a tough year for the junior resource markets, but there's a few stories there that are bucking the trend, and Snowline's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, we set the company up around a big district scale idea that there's this unrecognized gold district hiding out there in the Selwyn Basin, and we really kind of hit it out of the park with our with two discoveries on our first two targets last year, two drill discoveries on totally untested targets, and so I think for the right story, the right I suppose series of events, the market is still there. So yeah, we've been really fortunate to have that support. We have some strong shareholders, and things are going smoothly.
Well, let's talk about Rogue here and give us kind of a walkthrough of how you acquired it. You mentioned district scale potential here. That phrase is kind of thrown out a lot in this business, but what are you seeing that makes you kind of reaffirm that that's what you have?
Well, two things. One is just the scale. It is a big area, but the other is really, speaking about Rogue and the property to the north, Einerson, and several properties right in that vicinity, we've recognized big gold anomalies and now these big gold discoveries, and there are multiple deposit types too. And so you're starting to look at more of like, more than just like, okay, here's a gold occurrence and here's one over here, this is a district. We're seeing a very fertile metallogenic province where you have this type of gold deposit, you have this type of gold deposit, you have this type of gold deposit, and you're seeing that it's just, these rocks themselves this environment is very fertile for whatever reason. So that's sort of the other thing that we mean when we call it a district, that this really is, a new mineral province that just hasn't been recognized before.
So if you're getting diversified geology here in the area, like, it's great to see, but I also would assume there's a little bit of challenges that faces when it comes to exploring, because, how do you approach different types of rock here if it's different all over the place?
Yeah, the different deposit types do take maybe a different hat on your head in terms of your geological thinking. We've been lucky enough to bring in a team with a lot of diverse experience too. So we're able to kind of tackle different things from different lenses and kind of make the most of each project. And also, the way we approach the targets also in terms of how we prioritize them, that depends on a few factors, including the geology and sort of the grade and the potential that we see there, and even drilling and how easy it is to drill in terms of rock hardness and things like that. We have to pay attention to that. But overall, in several different deposit types, we have some pretty intriguing targets, so nothing has kind of fallen off the wagon yet in terms of our pipeline.
Scott, you're a young guy. What is it about the Yukon that you were always attracted to, that really wanted to work in some of the toughest conditions, but yet some of the best conditions? It's a geologist's playground up there in many ways. Well,
I joke that it's Stockholm Syndrome because I was born and raised up there and dragged out into the bush by my father, who's a prospector ever since I was a little kid. And, it's when you're little, it's a lot of bugs, a lot of rain and that sort of thing, but you very quickly start to appreciate it. And it's home, and I love it there. I'm happy to have, after decades of work with my father, to have gotten into some pretty exciting targets and have a good run with Snowline.
You can't be the only young guy who's looking to build companies in the Yukon. Talk about is there going to be a next generation of young Yukoners creating companies and being CEOs in the exploration business?
I think so. Both in the Yukon and in Vancouver. A lot of Vancouverites have spent a lot of their career in the Yukon as well, and there are already people doing big things in various companies in the Yukon. Graham Downs is still fairly young, and he did a lot with Attack, and you have people in Attack who are doing great things there, and then there's more coming out of the pipes as well. You have core assets. They're in northern British Columbia still, but run by a fairly young guy as well.
Very good. So talk to me about this spring and summer. What's on the docket here? What will you potentially be presenting to the market here as far as news?
Yeah, we're jumping right back into it. We're well financed with about $8 million. And we're bringing a second drill in. Last year we made 2 discoveries with just the 1 rig. We're bringing in a second, and we left the first one out there, so it's parked and ready to start turning on about June 1st. We have people out there making preparations to start our camp construction in the very near future, doing a very aggressive program, a lot of surface work on a lot of targets, and then and moving those 2 drills around to kind of optimize the 4 or 5 month window that we have there to really explore. So we're hoping to bolster the discoveries that we made last year, really provide a lot more sense of scale on them, as well as making additional grassroots discoveries on additional targets.
On the equity side, you've obviously done real well. It's been a very volatile time for the market here, but like I mentioned, Snowline is obviously seems to be bucking that trend. Not too many companies can say that. I guess through this volatile time, what's something you've learned as a young CEO of an exploration company that maybe caught you off guard or you had to adapt to quickly?
Wow, that's a good question. A lot of different things. I suppose just seeing that volatility. I mean, it's nice when we have volatility, but we have been kind of going up. But I guess I've learned a lot about market expectations in terms of your results and so on. And there are a lot of investors out there, looking for a long-term growth story like we offer. But there are investors there, looking to really, they want news next week and that sort of a thing. And so, as a seasonal company working in one jurisdiction, that's something we have to be very cognizant of. But it's definitely been a learning experience.
Well, with $8 million in the bank, it looks like you can still move forward through this volatility. So that's a really good position to be in right now, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. We're very happy with where we are, and that was a lesson that some mentors and others in the company who are helping guide it kind of got us to where we are in terms of that idea. Let's make hay while the sun's shining. Let's raise in the fall now, and we're set to go for next season. We can always turn on the taps again if we like what we're seeing and if the market likes what it's seeing and that sort of a thing. But it's very nice to have that out of the way and to be just focused on the season.
So what does success look like? If you look at the forward to the end of the year, what does success for Snowline look like? Is it new discoveries? Obviously getting to some sort of resource. What does it look like here?
Yeah, I think we're too early to be talking resource at this point still. But success is new discoveries. Success is expanding on our existing discoveries, getting a better sense of the scale and the controls on mineralization as well, so that that'll give us a better idea of how to build those out and also how to explore elsewhere in the district.
Okay. Scott, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Trevor. Appreciate it.
That is Scott Berdahl, President and CEO of Snowline Gold, again trading on the Venture Exchange with the symbol SGD.